This is DC Channel Guns. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. What up? This is DC Channel Guns coming at you another gun video. Appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe. Bringing the energy today. Now, I want to appreciate all my subscribers that come in here. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me through the hard times and the good times, so I appreciate that. Now, what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about gun laws in this country. Now, like I said before, I do a lot of reading and a lot of information that's out there and stuff like that. And, you know, you have the new generation who don't know the fight of this country or how far back it extends when it comes to legislation. Now, when it comes to a lot of the gun regulation in this country, it goes far as back as 1929. Now, I'm going to go back to 1929 because 1929 pretty much spun the first type of major legislation in this country, which was in 1929, we had a Saints Valentine's Day massacre. Now, what that spun was a law passed in 1934, which was the NFA Act, the National Firearm Act. Now, a lot of y'all remember that. Then after that, more legislation came in 1968. You know, the Gun Control Act. I'm talking about just more laws just keep falling and falling and falling and falling. Now, a lot of these laws were spun because incidents in the country. You have politicians and stuff created a lot of laws and stuff. Now, when it comes to gun control in this country right now, you know, there's a lot of people who gets out there and they do all this talking about, you know what they're gonna do, not gonna do, and all this kind of stuff. But the problem in this country that a lot of people fail to see, that you have millions of patriots over decades and decades have lost their gun rights, the right to bear arm in this country. And, you know, one of them things that pretty much barred citizens in this country from owning firearms is being a convicted felon. You know, I think that's one of the most overlooked, pretty much, gun confiscation in this country. To me, I call it gun confiscation, but that's pretty much the most overlooked gun confiscation in this country that I've seen by far. It's one of the easiest to get caught up in, and it's one of the hardest to get out of. And, you know, being a felon in this country bars you from owning a firearm. I'm talking about gun confiscation it's been happening. You know, I'm talking about ever since the 1968 Gun Control Act, you know, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed that. What that did was bar felons, barred drug users, barred, you know, mentally ill people. You know, it barred them from owning firearms. I'm talking about, we're going way back. And ever since then, a lot of these laws has been reconditioned, rejuvenated, just pretty much, you know, more stuff added to it, more laws, and more laws. And what I've been talking about up here, see, a lot of it go in one ear and goes out the other ear. I'm talking about because you have this agenda that, you know, there's a lot of opinions out there. I have opinion, you have an opinion, everybody has an opinion. But the problem is, for decades and decades, these laws has been growing. Not getting smaller, they getting bigger. I'm talking about, you know, there's no fight. The fight between gun owners and stuff like that is the fight how to defeat the anti-gun. That's the only fight. We have to find a way to win. We can't, it's easy to find a way to lose against them. We've been doing a good job of that. Some of you still don't want to admit that. And, you know, like I said before, at the end of the day, gun laws have expanded in this country over decades. There's millions of people who've been barred from owning a firearm. Being a felon is one of them. But like I said before, a lot of these laws has been created to create these spider webs effect so you would just get caught up in it. And then you have these states who create their own laws. They go way beyond the federal laws. So not only you paying attention to federal law, now you have your state laws. You got all these little city ordinances and stuff. Man, the trap out there for gun owners is huge. And I've been talking about this for a long time. I'm not looking at, you know, this whole gun control situation in the box. I'm looking at it out of the box. I'm looking at ways how we can defeat the anti-gun, how we can stop all this infringement on the Second Amendment. That is my whole goal. But also, I must point out some of the negatives and point out some of the positives in the 2A community. Now, some do not want to look at it that way. They're looking at a one-way street. Then you have some who don't want to go down the whole road. They want to turn off. They want to take shortcuts. There's no shortcuts when it comes to fight for your Second Amendment. We have to go through everything. And in this country, it's going to the point where it's going to get ugly. Now, what the results is that, I do not know. Nobody knows. We can speculate, we can guess, we can do a whole lot of stuff when it comes to the Second Amendment rights in this country. But like I said, at the end of the day, we still have not stopped all these laws from coming out. From both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats. These laws have been created by both parties. One party created more than others, but a lot of these laws has been created by both parties. So, at the end of the day, we have to figure out how we're going to win. That is my whole job. And nobody's above the Second Amendment. Nobody's, is above the Constitution. The whole goal is to stop this infringement, to keep our right to bear arms in this country, and not let the anti-gun take them away. Now, like I said before, I'm going to say this again. If you want to go and a lot of people, with this Reddit, hey, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. Guess what? I'm going to go back to what I just said earlier. If you're a convicted felon, you're pretty much barred to possess a firearm, which they had done added, with other laws that if you're a convicted felon, you're not allowed to be around ammunition either. I was watching, I think it was cops. They went into a house there, they went into the house where they were searching for drugs and stuff like that. Now, they didn't find no drugs and stuff, but guess what? They had about 6 people in there. Guess what? All of them was convicted felons. They didn't find no firearm, none of that. Wasn't no drugs and nothing in the house. But you know what the cop found? The cop found some loose ammunition in there. It was a box of ammunition. Nobody wanted to admit that that was their ammunition. Why? Because there was a felon. And, having the ammunition, guess what? And you're around ammunition and you're a felon, you're in possession of it, you're going to jail. So you know what happened? Nobody admitted to the ammunition. So guess what? Everybody that was in the house went to jail for possession of ammunition, being a convicted felon. I want you to think about that for a second. Everybody in the house went to jail for just having some loose ammunition. Wasn't no gun or nothing found, no firearm or nothing. No drugs were found, but just loose ammunition. Because they was convicted felon, they were barred for being in possession of ammunition, and everybody in that house went to jail. They locked everybody up because nobody wanted to admit to it. And that is my whole fight when it comes to the Second Amendment. That's why we need to vote. That's why we need to stop these laws. Because like I said before, whether you agree or disagree, every one of these little laws that the anti-gun set is for a reason. It's a purpose for that. Now, if the law wasn't set that if you were convicted felon and with possession of ammunition that you wouldn't go to jail, none of these people went to jail. They didn't start with the firearm. Now, if it was a firearm and the way the rules were set, yeah, they would have went to jail for that. But they didn't have a firearm. They just had loose ammunition. So they still went to jail. See, when you look at a lot of these states that's passing the ammunition laws, farm laws, no ammunition, the ammunition gun-free laws, that is the whole purpose. That is my intent to fight. That is my intent to broadcast, put it out there so we can stop these laws from passing, infringing on your Second Amendment right. That is my whole goal. All that other stuff, it just bypass me. I'm here to fight for your rights for the Second Amendment. So this is DC Channel Guns, and I'll catch you on the next one. This is DC Channel Guns. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.